Wars are stupid. It doesn't matter which side they're on. It's such a waste of life.
Like, you know the risks. You say goodbye to people that you love. You make sure your affairs are in order, because you never know what could happen.
Red Cross in Australia was born out of war. This is the story of 3 women and their work in World War II, Vietnam and Afghanistan.
Red Cross and war are very closely connected, particularly so then here in Australia when the Red Cross is formed on the outbreak of World War I.
In trams and trains and cars and planes, another army knits and sews. With fingers flying, they too are unselfishly serving.
There's a stereotype of a Red Cross woman knitting in a church hall, somewhere safe, secure, away from the danger zone. But I think that simplifies it too much, and I think that stereotype is not a necessary reflection of the overall work of women in Red Cross.
I reported into the headquarters of Red Cross. They said, "You're just the one we want. How soon can you be equipped to go to Morita to meet the prisoners coming back?" There were some very sick men. They had been sort of rescued at the end of the war. And the ones up at Morita were really too ill to go any further until we built them up.
By the Second World War, the Red Cross developed their field force, and this is where you get women like Maureen White going just behind the army in a sense.
Our task was to get the patients either in contact with their family or write their letters or just listen to them. It was quite an important role.
They're the typical young Australian woman that wanted to do something actively for the war.
When I told them I was going to Vietnam, my father wasn't a bit impressed. It's the first time I had ever heard him use any bad language because he was so cross.
The Red Cross Field Force members, the women, were in Vietnam before any other Australian women. They're there in the hospitals, assisting, doing all these sorts of things that otherwise just wouldn't happen.
Murray's father had good reason to be fearful. The front line came very close during one of the major battles of the war.
We were sent off down to our quarters to, hide us away sort of thing. We were all a bit scared because, of course, we could see there were Viet Cong sea craft out on the sea. All the time we were worried about the patients.
Let's turn to the war we are still in, and that is in Afghanistan.
The bombers targeted a Lebanese...
David, the death toll is still, as you say, officially at...
This is a dangerous environment for humanitarians. Doctors and nurses are directly targeted.
The conflict didn't bother me so much. The guns didn't bother me. Hearing bombs every night didn't bother me. Gunshots, that didn't bother me. I wasn't prepared for the amount. I didn't think there could be that much suffering in one place. That's what I wasn't prepared for.
Jessica Hazelwood served as a nurse in Afghanistan.
I could never have expected what I saw. There were just, I think the amount of people and the chaos in the hospital, just children everywhere. the sickest children you could ever imagine, with minimal staff. Yeah, it was pretty horrific. Once you've seen that, you can't unsee what you've seen. Every day makes me want to go back more. You need to be resilient. You need to have unrelenting faith in humanity and hope. And you need to be 100% neutral and impartial in how you deal with people, victims, anyone involved in the conflict.
Those basic ideas of selflessness and helping others are traits of the Red Cross woman. They're adventurous. They want to actively participate in some way. They want to do something meaningful.
I'd do it again quite easily. And I'm quite sure that all the girls would have done it again.
The roles might have changed, but the reasons behind it and the character behind that work continues.
The reason why I'll go back and do it again is because I hope that things will change. I realise that we don't live in an equal world, and until we can improve the situation, then I'll keep going back.